Yay, you guys, I'm finally back. I know I haven't been on here in a very long time. I just have a lot of new stuff that I have been working on, which I will share with you shortly. But because so many people loved the last conversation I had with my best friend, I decided to bring her back for a round 2. I did a poll on my Instagram, Betty Perez XO, and everybody wanted to talk more about relationships again, so I'm looking forward to doing that. So we have Pinky, and she also has her own podcast. Yay!
Yay! Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to join again, and my beautiful BFF, Betty, has given me the inspiration to start my own podcast, and hopefully we'll be launching in the next few weeks or maybe month or two, and it's called Pinky's Couch, and I'm looking forward to just share a part of my life with you, and hopefully we can learn together.
First of all, how do we go from a few weeks, month or two?
I'm new to this, girl.
Just a few weeks a year.
A few weeks. Hey, listen. It happens, man. When you have kids, you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this tomorrow. 7 years later. Oh, God. Can't make it up.
No. I am so fortunate to have her as a friend. She definitely gives me a lot of good advice. And I think we were talking the last time about like being in relationships and what to expect. I know we talked about the 3 C's that I love so much: communication, consistency, commitment, and if that doesn't work, counseling. So, but I also wanted to really touch on dating, since that's the area in life that I guess I'm at now. And when I was younger, I never really dated. I was just in long-term relationships. I wouldn't call it serial monogamy, but I've had like a lot of long-term relationships, which never led me to experience, I guess, dating how is a healthy way of dating, I guess. So we were talking a while back and we tried to record and it kind of got messed up, but basically I had told her, you know, I was feeling some type of way, pretty overwhelmed with dating and not getting the response out of a particular person that I really liked. And so, well, an engagement response, I guess I would say. And then somehow I just realized throughout, you know, trying to understand myself and like why I'm single or why dating seems to be difficult for me is because I hone in on like one person and I kind of focus on them, and if they don't give me, you know, what I need, I start to get upset and think it's all my fault. But I started to also notice that, and I said this to my friend and she really loved it, and I'm trying to reiterate it now, but basically you can't write someone else's story. You just kind of have to sit back and read the book. So because of me being so fearful of rejection, that's another thing in dating. I think you have to take time to get to know yourself so you can understand when triggers happen, and you can not hold the other person accountable for your trigger and try to just work through it. So basically, I am fearful of abandonment, of rejection, and so the minute, you know, whoever my interest is in that time doesn't show me the attention that I think I deserve, I'm already jumping to conclusions and writing their book instead of just sitting back and reading their story.
Yeah, and I always tell you that, you know, number one is dating does suck. Dating will put you through the ringer. I don't miss it, don't want nothing to do with it, especially in this time of social media and a lot of communication through writing and text messaging. I fear that, like, that is a lot, right? Especially when you're stuck between that world of growing up in the 90s and growing up in the early 2000s where you went out and you met someone at the store through a friend, through all that stuff, like that. You'll never get the same sense of communication through a text versus in person. Like, common sense says that, right?
Yeah.
And now it's everything through text. Everything is an app. Yeah. So like that to me is a lot of pressure. You know, how you read things, how things are written, like all that can be misconstrued, which is, I don't know how you do it, girl.
It's not easy.
Well, no, right. And when you're doing that, like, you also have to be able to disconnect yourself from expecting too much from the other side.
Too much too soon.
Too much too soon. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like, when you're dating, and I'm not saying be a serial dater and be someone who's just looking to speak to five 1,000 people, it definitely is, keep your options open. Don't put your eggs all in one basket. And there's nothing wrong with that, because if you know as a person that you're dating means that you're going out and testing the waters.
Yeah.
That other person is doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And if you hone in that one person and they're talking to 5 other people, the attention there it's never consistent.
Yeah.
And I think you have to be okay with that. Now, your responsibility as when you're dating, I always felt that it was to change the other person's mind, to make them feel like, hey man, I really like this girl. She's so engaging. Like, I want to be part of her world, and start just changing their mind to focus on you. And that to me does take time, because you have to get to know the person. You're not going to know the person
and
one
I
week.
mean, I think that's where we definitely differ, and that's why I love this platform that we have, like podcasts, because we can get to see other people's perspective. I think for sure for me, I am learning to love myself exactly how I am, and realize that I don't have to change myself. You were actually telling me that today.
No.
And the things that I keep beating myself up about that other people don't appreciate, there are people who truly know me, like you, that you said today, that will appreciate it.
Exactly.
So I am okay with, like, if I really like someone, honing in on them, because that's who I am. I gotta give one person my undivided attention. However, I don't feel like I have to prove to anyone or try to get someone to like me. I'm more on the side of you have to pursue me. I want to be chased. I want to be wanted. And that's the whole issue with me, and the reason behind, like, rejection being such a big, part of my life, or abandonment. And so having someone who's willing to do that for me is important. And if they can't step up to the plate, well, then that's too bad for them. I've cut our losses.
I do agree with that 100%.
So also, I can't speak for all women, but I feel like most women want to be chosen. And when they feel like
everybody wants to be chosen.
Well, I mean, no, there are people out there who are okay with being number 2, option 2, or rebound, or whatever.
In their head.
And that's people who have maybe, I don't even want to say low self-esteem, but, a lot of people don't know their worth. I didn't know my worth at one point, and I was just okay with dating, or being in a relationship with someone who didn't value me enough. So, I want to be chosen.
But in that time, or are you saying that in hindsight, or in that time, did you feel like you were their number one?
No, in hindsight, I knew I wasn't their number one, but also I think deep down during that time, I also didn't think I was their number one, because I just wanted love and attention so much. I was willing to accept whatever treatment I was getting, and that's where, like, emotional, physical, and mental abuse can come in.
100%.
So, but now being in the place that I am, I want to be chosen, and I feel like if you're not engaging with me, or if you're not making the effort to consistently, every day is a choice. Every day in your own personal life, take relationships out. I choose to get up and start my day. I choose to lay in my bed, So each day, a person is making a constant choice to engage with whomever they are, to love with whomever they are. So I want to be a choice in someone's life, the number one choice of every day, saying, okay, I care for this person, I love this person, I want to show this person, or assure this person.
When do you make that decision, though? At what point in dating do you make the decision to hone in? Is it a day in, 2 days in, a week in, 4 days in?
But everybody's different. Like, my coworker, for example, he told me that him and his partner got it on day 1.
Right.
Like, date 1, wham bam, thank you ma'am, and they're married for 25 years and have 2 kids. So the time frame is different for everyone, but that's where communication and engagement play a role.
Right, and not everybody has that same, like, not everybody's gonna have that same experience. Like, that's why I say when dating, and I always try, I don't know if I'm gonna convey this as clear as, I'm trying to convey this as clear as possible.
You're like, chick, I ain't got no patience for you now.
No. Well, no.
Because you know how we are, like, keep it real.
Right, like, for real, like, I might be talking to someone, and I'm getting the vibe that I'm into it, I'm feeling it. And on week 2, I'm like, boom, this is the person, me, that's the decision that I make. Yeah. Boom, 2 weeks in, I'm into this person. The other end of their side, yeah, they're feeling me, they think I'm cool, but 2 weeks in, they're still talking to other women, or other men, whatever your preference is. That's where I'm telling you that don't ever try to put your eggs in one basket, especially in dating. I'm not saying date 5 or 6 people at the same time, but when you do see that that engagement is not there over a certain period of time, you can't start saying, well, there's something wrong with me.
Yeah, and that's what I'm working on for sure. And that's why I wanted to do this podcast. I thought it was a great time because the first podcast we did, it was about friendships and relationships and how to make them work. But I think this podcast is also about that, but it's about primarily your relationship with yourself, because your relationship with yourself is going to depict and determine how your relationship with other people go.
Right, you have to love yourself before you can love other people. As cliche as that sounds, it is the truth. I have learned that over time. I wholeheartedly believe that if you are not in love and in tune with yourself, with the good part of your personality, with the bad parts of your personality, with the personality that you're learning to improve or you're okay with, you don't get, I'm stubborn as all hell.
Sí, los Tauros son coño.
Me
tiene cojones.
No me importa. Okay. But that's the part of me who I am, and whoever's going to be around me is going to have to be able to tolerate that, accept that, and love that.
Yeah.
Love the good with the bad. And that's where I say, like, with dating, I really hope that, you or anyone listening to, when you are dating, like, and it's not working out in the time frame that you want, don't beat yourself up, because it's not you. It really isn't you. And if you feel like there is something in your personality you know to work on it. But there is somebody out there that's going to appreciate you holistically. Every single part of you.
I like that word.
It's true. Because I have evolved and I have matured over the time, right? We all do. Like, you're not the same person as you're 17.
Oh, no.
And if you are, you still have a lot of growing to do. You just haven't gotten there where you're going to transform. You're not shedding as fast as other people. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to stay away from you, because if you're still living a 17-year-old life, then that's not my life. Some people like that. All right, and there's nothing wrong with that. I personally don't. I don't got time for immaturity. And you just have to be able to accept yourself, embrace yourself, put it all out there, but definitely not, just don't attack yourself. Everything happens at its time, and it's cliche, and it's like, oh, well, you already found your person. Oh, right. No, listen, right before
just give it to me now.
I hope and pray, because I'm a realistic person. I hope and pray. I love my wife. We are strong. We're a great couple. I really do believe it. It took me a long time, I feel, in my journey to get to that point.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can say this in 50, 60 years. Shit, we don't know what life happens. I might hate her in 10 years. She got on my nerve.
Yeah.
But to me, it happened in my 30s. To the next person, might happen in the 40s. It can happen at any time. I think you have to be healthy in being lonely. But loneliness is it is hard.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not. It sucks. It's absolutely, there's nothing I can say. It sucks. But say, I do feel lonely, but I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I'm not alone. I can pick up the phone, talk to my sister, talk to my brother, talk to my cousin, talk to my neighbor, and hone into those resources that you have, so that loneliness stings a little less, because people think, well, you're dating and, it just, all of it sucks.
Yeah. But we also talked about that as well. Like, I feel, and we were really, you helped me out the other day because I was actually crying because I was lonely, and I had told you something a while ago, and you told it back to me, where we're always going to have temporary feelings. You're going to be sad for an X amount of time, but we're going to be happy for an X amount of time. And when we're happy, understand that that's also temporary. Like, everything in this world, I mean, that's the rule of life, is temporary.
Life is temporary.
Yeah, exactly.
We all die.
So, and to not stay in either and think that either is forever. So it's to be cognizant of that. And I think another thing that we also pressure on each other all the time is that feelings are not fact.
Yes.
Is sometimes when we feel something, we want to have closure on it, so we want to find something to prove what we are feeling is true. But it's not always facts.
Absolutely.
Because there's always two sides to a story. So when you're dating, you never truly know what the other person
we want
is.
Control. At the end of it, it's about control, and it's about there has to be a reason.
Yeah.
Why do people die? Because people fucking die.
Yeah.
Oops,
sometimes
my language.
It's okay.
Oh my god. So people die.
So you know the sweet person in this friendship.
No, like, everything is temporary. Everything has an end, a beginning. I mean, it really is just simply that. loving yourself, because this is one life. This is all we
Yeah.
got.
Yeah.
This is all we got.
And I struggle with loving myself still. Like, I love myself as far as I take care of myself. I appreciate myself. But I'm definitely hard on myself, and I always want to be better at everything. And I think a lot of that stems from me wanting to be loved and accepted.
We all, listen, Betty, we all want to be loved and accepted. I think, you know, social norms has taught us that if it doesn't happen at a certain time, it doesn't look like a certain way, we fail.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I've been trying to, you know, really hone in into even my personal life. Like, it doesn't have to look like the way the world is
Cinderella.
telling me. Right. Me and my spouse were watching. I made her watch.
It ain't a glass slipper.
Right. Listen, something got. I think it's called Something Gotta Give, or something about. It was with Jack Nicholson and. God, we watched something about her. Something about some. I can't. I wish I could remember the movie. Hopefully, put it on later on in the podcast. But he's an older couple, 60-something. He's older. He's only dating young women, and he found his person at 60, years old. Like, and that's okay. And that's fine. Everything looks different, and you know, we have to be able to accept that, love that, and surround ourselves with people who accept us with everything. With our flaws. And it's not about quantity. It's literally, again, very cliche. It's about quality. I don't have a lot of friends. I used to. I mean,
I'm the only one.
Swear to God, I'm even joking. We joking, but we're not joking. We joking, but we're not joking. And I learned that, you know, when you're 17, 18, you want to be YOLO, FOMO, fear and failure. You want to be around everybody, and that's fine because that's a stage in life. But really, as older you get, it's gonna dwindle, and that hurts because you think that, you know, these people that grew up with you are gonna be with you for the rest of your life. And if that happens, that's a blessing. If it doesn't, that's okay too. You make new friends, whether it be one, whether it be two, whether it's your dog, that's okay. Be in the space that you have. Really try to hone into the positive things that are going on in your life, because if you don't, it's too much energy to be sad and stay in that sadness.
I'm not like
staying in one emotion. Even staying too happy can be annoying. Have you ever seen like really
happy
motherfuckers?
Like, can you chill?
You be like, you always
like that
really?
Cheerleader mode.
Even that's too much. Relax. Can you cry? Because this is
only supposed to be for the game, okay?
Relax. Even that can be overwhelming. Right? Like, and even if you ask people, I always have to feel like I have to be happy all the time. I have to be beyond. That in itself is like, it takes a lot of energy. I just don't want to be quiet sometimes. Still.
Well, again, another cliche. It's all about balance, right? These cliches are here for a reason.
I don't know. I know, you know, for those who are out there dating, I was talking to the moon. I was alone. I was upset. I was mad at God, if you're a believer. I understand those feelings. Like, there's nothing that I can say that said this at this moment, the feeling of loneliness, the feeling of when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen for me? We don't know.
But just so you know, too, like, there is definitely hope. But just to segue that loneliness, outside of dating, people who are in relationships can feel alone and rejected too. 100%. So don't just think like, I'm going to get in a relationship and everything is going to be fixed.
Absolutely not.
Because that's not the case either.
No, as healthy as I feel like this is the healthiest relationship, and hopefully my last. I do believe it's my last. I'm putting the energy, and it should be my last. It's my forever. There are moments that you feel, even when you're in a room with your spouse, that you are disconnected. There are even stages within a marriage and a relationship which you feel disconnected. And if you're willing to put in the work and say and have, again, those C's that we talk about, communication is so key through your entire life. Consistency. That's like my main C. If you're not consistently communicating, then there's something going on. Like,
absolutely.
And when
there's no engagement, there's no intention. What's the point?
What's the point? And then sometimes, you know, you can disconnect for a while, but again, like you said, don't stay in that too long.
Don't stay in it too long.
That's where we get really depressed. That's where we really go get down. Really
I was messed up for like 2 days. Girl, calling you. You were like, girl, you need to go take a shower. Yo, I swear to God, this is a little embarrassed, but I'm gonna be transparent, right? Because my channel's about being real, being your authentic self. I called her 3 days ago, I think, and I was crying. No, 2. Is it 2 days?
2 days.
2 days, and I'm crying my eyes out. And she even told me, I bet you haven't taken a shower.
Nah.
I was like,
been there, done that.
She threatened our friendship.
Smelly
She
coochie.
threatened our
Yes.
friendship. She's like, if you don't take a shower tonight, I am not gonna be your friend anymore.
Right. Because, I want her to know that I hear her, understand her, I love her, and this sucks. But I am here. And you're not alone. Even in the loneliest, that loneliness is just it's a feeling, right?
Yeah.
But you're not alone. You are not. I don't think there's a lonely person in this world. Even if some people, people think that you constantly have to have people on top of you. You don't. But you have one mentor, one person in your life who is your cheerleader. That's the only person that you need.
Yeah.
However that looks. It could be your cat.
And I just also,
Look,
you are that person for me, and I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for, from the bottom of my heart. I don't know how many, if I tell you this, I'm gonna get all emotional.
Don't cry, because I don't cry. I don't cry.
Well, because I was thinking of the shootings and stuff, and we could be gone tomorrow
in a second.
And sometimes we take advantage of that, and we forget to tell people how important or impactful they've been in our lives. So I do want to say, and take the podcast aside, because I'm tearing up here and I'm trying to be all cute for the podcast, but I really value and I love you and I appreciate you and I adore you, and I'm so grateful for having you in my life for this long, and I don't even, there's no words to express the amazing person that I think you are and what you've added to my life. So, and what your partner has added to my life, because she's amazing too, and I love her to death.
Thank you so much. I love you too, Betty. I know I'm hard, and sometimes I come off as stringent and very stern.
But
that's we have gone through a lot of the same things in our upbringing and just in our experiences, and we all react differently. You know, you're a little bit more emotional than I am. I'm a little bit more stern than you are. Doesn't mean that I don't have any emotions. It just takes me a little longer for me to get there, or sometimes I just do it very privately, by myself, with a pint of ice cream, watching movies.
For me, it's like dark chocolate.
Girl, I like a vanilla. But I also like to joke, self-deprivation jokes are something that helps me kind of not take things so serious, because life is fleeting and life goes by so fast, and I want you to know that it isn't as bad as it could be.
Yeah, for sure.
And that goes to anybody in the world, and it's not easy. Doesn't mean that it doesn't take away from anyone's experience, but just know that no matter what, you are loved, and I love you so much. I appreciate you so much. You have definitely taught me to be a little bit more open with my emotions, even though I hate it. And also be kinder.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely learned to just be kinder to myself, and I know that there is that person out there for you that is going to look at you the way I look at you. And that goes out for also your viewers. There is someone that's gonna look at you the way no one has ever looked at you before.
Con las estrellas en los ojos.
Yeah, and listen.
Coño, esa es mi mujer.
And honestly, maybe this is a response out of trauma, but even if it's just a week, a year, a forever, experience it.
Yeah, for
sure. Go through that love. Allow yourself to be loved. Don't allow nobody to abuse you now, people.
Yeah.
But allow yourself to be loved. Don't be afraid of it. Because no matter how temporary it might be, we are temporary anyway.
Yeah,
we're not here forever.
100%.
And rather to experience it than not. I didn't date when I was younger. I didn't want to date. I didn't have any feelings in dating. And when I was ready for it, I put my whole heart into it. Because I'm a firm believer that if you're not ready to do something, you shouldn't tackle it half-assed.
Yeah, for sure.
You should do it with intention and integrity, because you're dealing with people's lives, you're dealing with people's emotions. And if you are in a place that you're just not ready, then just be honest about it.
Girl, you need your own talk show. I'm feeling this over here.
Stop it. Woo! No, it is true, because that's one thing that I hate about dating. People I'm gonna tell her what she wants to hear. For what?
Yeah.
I'm not 2 years old, for what?
It's not servicing either person.
None of it. If you want to go cheeky, let's
yeah, and you never know. I know a lot of women. I have a lot of female acquaintances where they will tell me, I will respect you more and be more open to the wham bam thank you ma'am if you just start with that and say, look, I'm only interested in right? But if you're doing it in a way like, oh, I'm only talking to you, or oh, you know, you're my focus.
No,
that's not gonna get you to the cama anywhere quicker.
I'm gonna be very general. I'm gonna be very stereotypical in this statement, and I don't care because I do believe that there's some truth to stereotypes.
Yeah,
small, however small. Boys, women can handle it.
For sure.
You know, and this is coming from a heterosexual woman who was herself. So be honest in that intention. Be honest and say, you know what? Look, I'm not sure what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm down for a good time. Because if you're honest enough, you'd be surprised. Where I've seen relationship where it just is truly just sexual and physical, and it flourishes into something beautiful.
You never know.
But because you were honest from the beginning, and then you're just hanging out on a physical level, and then you start talking, and then now you're talking, and then now boom, you're married, and you got 10 kids, and you're happily ever after.
Because honesty builds trust.
Exactly. And so why are we out here as human beings coming at each other with these lies?
I tell you every single time, I cannot understand the game. I don't know how to play it, and people love to do it, and I don't know why.
And it's so funny because then you get then it's turned around. Well, women can handle it if you try to tell them, or men can handle it if you try to tell them. Well, then that person can't handle it, and that person shouldn't be in your life.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's okay. Bye.
Yep.
Bye. Let me make an informed decision. Let me figure out what I want to do with you in my life, whether I want to have you in my life or not. And that's it. That is simply, there's billions of people in this world for you to hone in to hurt someone who's trying to build their life.
Another thing that I also, every day should be a learning experience in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely.
You know? And I don't want to say I was shallow, but for a long period of time, I was only interested in a certain type of person.
Mm-hmm.
And being alone and realizing that those type of people may not be for me. And I think we were also talking about it today. Like you said, you think, oh, I'm going to marry X, Y, and Z. And that person is going to be for me. And then the complete opposite is what you need.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I would be like, oh, the person has to be like 6'2", 6'7".
Well, you're going to end up with a 5 foot.
You know, like, so basically, I guess I'm saying that to say, like, keep your eyes, mind, and heart open to anybody, because you never know. It might not be what you want, but it'll be what you need. And once you have it, it will be what you want, because what you want, what you need.
And it will look beautiful. You'll be like, man, I didn't know. Yes, work it, baby.
Yeah.
You'll be so happy with that person, and they will look perfect. To you. Yeah. And that's what matters. I don't care what anybody says about me, my spouse. I look at her, she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. And let me tell you, if you would have asked me, and I'm going to be very blunt, she does. Yeah, and she wasn't,
pana de corazón.
And back in, if I was 21, 22 years old, because you're shallow and you're only looking for, you want that, the social, the social norms say, the person has to be tall, and they have to do this, and they have to have this career, and make this amount of money, and live in this house. No, I opened it up myself and said, I want someone who loves me, wants to take the time to worry about me and my well-being, and really appreciate me who I am, because beauty is fleeting also. You will become old and raggedy, and not that old people are ugly, but
we gonna look good as hell.
I'm not saying that
we age gracefully. Black don't crack.
Black don't crack, girl. But, like, you get older, and it doesn't always have to be about, being tight booty and flat stomach. And no, old people are beautiful. Young people are beautiful. And your beauty is always, again, cliches, an eye of the beholder. It's inside. I look at my spouse, and she's the most beautiful. To you, she might look like a crocodile or I don't know. She'd be like, not be your... Good, she's not for you, because she was made for me.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because, like, a lot of people, the first thing that they say about me is my eyes. You have big, beautiful eyes. And we were talking about it today, how, your eyes are the window to your soul. Yeah. So they're not technically seeing me. They're seeing me,
your soul,
who I am as an individual, outside of, any exterior beauty that there might be.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, once you open yourself up for truth, and truth can be funny, truth can be hurtful, truth can be so many facets, so many colors, so many levels. When you open yourself up to that, and then are willing to forgive, Because truth, like I said, it can come in beautiful packages and it can come in really messed up packages.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to receive that and then let it go where you need to let it go and forgive, it just gets so much easier. Because staying in that like negative space, and it happens to all of us, just let it go.
Another cliche. We've had a lot of cliches. It's not what they say, it's how you receive it.
Exactly. Put it on a t-shirt. Put it on a t-shirt.
Talking about t-shirts, we'll be selling.
And like Cardi B said, shmoney. Yeah, honestly, like I don't know. I don't want to take life so serious.
I'm working on that because I am very serious and I'm very hard on myself.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just need to relax. Like even like me getting depressed and like reorganizing everything I already organized and have stuff all over the floor. And I was crying. Literally, I was crying. I was like, I'm watching TV and I'm not supposed to.
Right. Oh my God. Who is mad at themselves because they are watching and binging a TV show? This is not me. I read books. Girl, I done binge like 10 million books.
I think that was the first time you've ever gotten upset with me when I'm upset.
Bro, what? You call me at 9 o'clock in the morning because you're watching television? If you don't finish with your damn show, leave me to home.
I'm crying because I wasn't organizing or cleaning or reading a book. I was watching TV.
Yeah, because you're hard. Because you think you have to always be on and be perfect and not give yourselves some slack. If you don't want to wash your behind a day and be in your PJs and and watch Bridgerton for 10 hours straight, then so be it. Life, listen, I'm tired. I am tired. And when I clock out, I'm clocking out, and it's okay to clock out, right? Don't spend 20 years clocked out, because that's not healthy. Right? It's about balancing. But so don't call me at 9 o'clock in the night because you're binging Bridgerton.
I look past, I'm like, I literally was crying to her because I was watching TV and it was unacceptable.
Like, what? Are you kidding? I'm gonna hang up on you because this is some BS. You don't call me. But then the funny thing is that as she's upset about binging Bridgerton, I took everything out of my kitchen cabinet to relabel and I just don't like the way things are placed. Again, control, right? There's something going on in my personal life that I need to find something to control because I don't have control over it, so I'm taking it out of my cabinet. But hey, we all have to cope somehow.
I mean, for real.
We all have to cope somehow. It really is. Like, just, forgive yourself. Don't stay in it too long and laugh because... Yeah. What's the point of going around just being moody or upset because someone said something?
That's why I love comedy so much.
Let me tell you why. We were going to the beach with Jade a few weeks ago, and Lauren was trying to park, and when she was trying to park, she kind of did it in a weird way, and someone behind her got upset. Okay, she wasn't doing it the right way. She did it in a weird way. Oops, my bad. The lady came out and was like, what the beep, 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 beep? Like, like blood pressure high. Lauren, because, Lauren, she, I'm ready to, I'm quiet. I'm about to start up, from the hood.
About to roll up.
I took one leg out. I'm like, yo, it's about to be high and popping because she keep running your mouth. Right. I said like this, and Lauren looking at me with her bright blue eyes, and she's like, oh, snap. And then she tells the lady, my bad, have a good day. And I was like, I was ready. I put one foot out, girl. I was ready. Right. So she's like, I'm like, relax. Why don't you have a good day? Yeah, I messed up. Why does that have to escalate, right? Because you messed up.
It's the defensive thing for us. But again, we all have our past trauma that can trigger at time. And I think this was a great conversation. I think to conclude it, I think the main messages that I want to have you guys take away, and hopefully you take away a lot. And if you do, please message me on Instagram and let me know if it was helpful in any way. But for me, it would just be like, forgive yourself, love yourself, understand that everything is temporary, and go with life in an easy pace. What would you say?
I would say, the same, and to piggyback on that, Forgive and laugh. Laugh about even the hardest things that are happening in your life. Laugh about, you know, if you're sick right now, laugh about it.
Or the heaviest things, because my boobs
Yeah.
are ridiculous.
Yeah. If
we were laughing about
Right.
our boobs today.
Right. I'm like, laugh about it. If you got a cold and you got boogers coming out your nose, be like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, why am I producing so much freaking boogers?" Like, laugh about
Yeah.
everything,
Que no
because
tomen las cosas en
yeah,
serio.
don't take too much time in the seriousness, because, you know, look what's happening in the world. Little babies are losing their life unnecessarily.
Yeah.
People get into, like, you know, you're talking to your friend one moment and then they're not there.
Yeah.
And it's in a split second. And the older we get, the more that mortality comes into a play in our lives. And just enjoy it. Try so hard, even on your worst days, to get up and do something silly.
Amen to that. So I hope you guys loved our little chat. Lifer, love yourself, fully equipped realness. I hope that we gave you some of that. I hope that you continue being a lifer in everything that you do. And big hugs and kisses. And to my next episode. Besos, you guys. Bye.